Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Live. My name is Sharon Rogers, and I'm an independent Statement Up demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And this is my buddy Crash, who often joins me in the stamp room. He just loves it here. And we love stamping, so what do you say if we get to it? I do have just a quick reminder that today is the last day of Celebration. So in Celebration, for every $60 worth of merchandise you purchase, you get to select a free Celebration item. There are a couple of $120 levels as well. So if you did 120, you could either choose a level 2 product, which my favorite is the heart-shaped bundle, which has beautiful heart-shaped items in it, and it's stamps and dies. Or you can choose two $60 level options, and there are lots of those because we not only had the Celebration flyer, the brochure, but we also, this is the brochure, but we also had a second release which had items from our current catalog. So, and they were fantastic. Some of those deals were amazing. So that ends tonight. So you don't want to delay. If you want a Celebration item, if you want to get that extra deal, then now is the time to go for it. But I'm going to show you tonight some products that are sticking around for at least a couple more months because they're in the mini catalog that is current right now, and that is the Toadstool, the Terrific Toadstool bundle. And that happens to coordinate with the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper that is part of Celebration. So let's go ahead and get started. And don't forget, say hi if you're tuning in. I know Sheila's tuned in, so hello, Sheila. And let me know, the rest of you, as you pop in. I'd love to know where you're watching from. I know Sheila's watching from Sanford because I know Sheila and we work together. And we're about ready to travel together in another 2 weeks, but more on that later. So let's turn things around. All right, let's see. All right, one of my lights is not on, so I need to do that before I go much further because it's half in the dark. All right, there we go. So today I have what's called a flip-flop card. And I don't know that I would have named it this, but that's what the fun fold is named. Oop, I think I've got a little bit of a, all right, that's good, I think. So we're going to start with a piece, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And while I won't be using quite all of this, I'll be using a lot of it. The first thing you need is a regular card base. So 5.5 by 8.5. And the directions for this will be in my Monday email. So if you have not subscribed to my Monday email, then you'll want to look for the link in the description of this video after I'm done. Get added to my list, and then you'll automatically get the PDF tutorial for this project. And I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So this is roughly just a regular card base. Now, this next step is very important. I want to cut off the upper right front diagonal. So I'm going to take from this top score line. So here's the score line on the top. And I'm going to put that in the ditch of my trimmer. And I can't really see it right now. Hold on, I need to fold it to see it a little bit better. The light is glaring. So I want to put that in the ditch of my trimmer, and I want to put the bottom right corner in the ditch of my trimmer as well. I'll line those up and then just cut that off. And you can do whatever you want with that. So now you have something that looks like this. From this other piece, I'm going to cut a strip that is 3 inches long and only 8 inches well, 3 inches wide and 8 inches long. But since this is 8.5, because we started with a full sheet, I need to cut off 1/2 inch. And then I need to score this in half at 4 inches, because now the length is 8. So we will score it, not the dark one, the light one. We will score it here. So this is like a little mini card. We're going to need a few more things. We will need 2 pieces of basic white that measure 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And this, if you think of this as just a little mini card, that one's going to go there. And this one is going to go here on the inside. So it's just a little mini card. I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to bring in some of my Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. And I did a sample card already. And this is what we're doing today. That's very purpley. I actually forced myself to use what I refer to as the My Little Pony paper. This just reminds me of My Little Pony. And so I can't unsee it, and I don't really like this design for that reason. But I'm sorry if I've ruined it for anybody else. So it's 2-sided paper. I love this one right here. I love the stripes. For those of you from New England, doesn't this just remind you of Dunkin' Donuts? And then we've got a little mushroom texture here, and then we've got like this psychedelic kind of mushroom ombre stuff over here. Just got some pink amoebas. I don't know what they are. And then just some swishes, different colors. We've got this green leafy pattern. We've got a beautiful toadstools in the grass kind of pattern. And then we've got one more. We've got this one. I don't actually know if I showed you them all, but close enough. This one is what I'm going to be using, and it's why I chose Grading Apple Green as my base, because this kind of has a green base as well. So this is going to be the front of my card, I think, and I believe I'm going to put this in the back. So I'm changing it up from my sample. Now what I want is a piece of Designer Series paper that measures 3 7/8 wide. So I want this to be portrait in nature. So it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I'm going to do the 3 7/8. And then I'm going to turn it and cut it at 5 1/8. And that's going to go right here, right in the back. And a lot of that gets covered up by our little mini card right here. So it's just going to be an accent in the back. And then for the front, I'm going to cut this also at 3 1/8 by 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. It's also got to be portrait, so cut the smaller of the dimensions first, with it showing on your cutter the way you want to see it when it's done. By 5 1/8. Now, which direction you cut on the diagonal is important. This diagonal cut is different than this diagonal cut. Let me show you. So here on this sample card, I have the right diagonal. My first cut, I wasn't paying attention, and I got this one, which if I layered it here where I wanted to put it, it would be upside down. So what's really important is you want to cut from the top left to the bottom right. So I'm looking at this, my snails and my mushrooms are up. I want to cut from the top left to the bottom right. So I'm going to put those in my ditch. Now, if you use non-directional paper, doesn't matter. All right, let's put this aside here. All right. Now, this one is not the one I want, right? It's this one that I want. So let's go ahead and adhere some stuff down. Sheila says I'm going in and out. It's looking fine on my my screen because I'm watching YouTube as I'm doing this, Sheila, so it might be some sort of connectivity issue. Probably in Stamford, but I don't know. But I'm sorry about that, and hopefully the replay should look fine. They always do. Even if it's a problem on my end, they do. I do have my phone plugged in, so I know it's not a battery issue, and it's not going to be a battery issue. You're not going to tell me that I'm frozen because, or at least not for that reason. All right, let's see. Let's come right here. All right, so there I have the basics of my card. And then I just remember this card is going to go over the top. We're going to adhere these white pieces, but first we have to stamp on them. So let's go ahead and get out some of my stamps using the Terrific Toadstools, and this is a bundle. Comes with the coordinating punch that punches out 2 kinds of mushroom caps and a mushroom stem. And you know what, while I'm here, let me go ahead and punch out some mushroom stems. You don't have to use a stem cut out like this. You can stamp, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm just going to do one of them, and I'll talk about why in a little bit. All right, so I do need to bring in a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to be using a stamp that is wider than this piece right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my little saying at the bottom here. I got this idea from a fellow demonstrator, Jamie. Oh, I forgot her last name, and I'm live, so I can't really tell you. Let's go ahead and stamp it. Oh, do I want to do this, or do I want to do it in a dark color? You know what? I think I want to do it in a darker color, just because it will look that much more. There will be that much more contrast. Ooh, I just lost my screen. I'm not sure how I did that. Let's see if I can get it back. Ooh, I don't know what I did. Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm back. And who can tell me what I just did? I put the wrong side of my block in the ink. So that's fun. You know, it might be one of those nights. I don't know. Let's stamp up. This says, pop it up to say hi. I'm going to just put this centered right at the bottom here. All right. And then I'm going to create my grass that my mushrooms are growing out of. So that's this piece right here. And let's get this mounted. I do have a lot of things to stamp tonight, so I probably will have to clean a bit as I go, which I never do. Okay, so here's my garden green hill. Almost looks like there's different layers there, right? All right, and so now I need to put in some of my mushrooms. Now, if I were to take, say, this long stem that goes with this trio here, I want my trio to be fairly close to the ground. I'll stamp those first. And I'm going to put those in orange because that's what they are. Well, not on the paper that I'm using, but I do like orange and pink together. I don't like coffee, so I'm not a Dunkin' Donuts girl, but I do like the colors together. So let's do that. And then I need their stems, but if I were to stamp their stems, if I were to stamp their stems here, you can see it comes down. So I need to protect this area. So that means we need to get out some masking paper. And unfortunately, I'm in a drawer. I've got my thing plugged in, so getting access to my masking paper is not going to happen tonight. So I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to cut a piece of this paper off. We'll just get another piece off, and I didn't really care how well I was doing that. I'm going to take this because I haven't washed it yet, and I'm going to stamp it again. So I am just going to cut this out. I'm just cutting inside just a little bit. And I'm going to cover that up. Now, if this were masking paper, it would stick pretty nicely. It's not masking paper, so I just have to be very, very careful here. And let's go ahead, and I need to clean a little bit before I move on a little bit further. Ooh, I just saw a flicker. I'm hoping that was just me hitting my computer cord, and that's not going to affect anything. Okay, let me take my little trio of mushrooms off so I can see what I'm stamping. I'm going to take this right here, and I need to be very careful that I don't move this. I want that to stay over there. And then I'm going to put these right where they go. I didn't get that one great, but I don't mind that the stem is a little bit weak. It'll be fine. It's fine. Really, it's fine. Hi, Becky. Nice to have you here from Kentucky. Becky, are you a demonstrator or a happy Stampin' Up! Customer, paper crafter? I would love to know. All right, now I'm going to take this large toadstool cap, and I'm going to stamp that in Melon Mambo, which is another color that is in this designer series paper. Let me clean something else off again. The reason why I'm asking, Becky, is we have, if you're a demonstrator, there is an event coming up. I alluded to it a little bit earlier at the top of this video, that my friend Sheila and I are both going to an event. We're traveling soon. We're traveling to Stampin' Up's Onstage event. And that event is, so I'm going to see where roughly I want this to go. And I'm gonna bend this a little bit, I think, this way. Maybe I can even flip it and get it to go the other way. That's good right there. So I'm gonna ink this. So we're gonna go to Raleigh, North Carolina, and have some fun with a lot of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And so that's going to go just like that. And then I need to stamp another one. Let's stamp another one because I do have to bring in the punch to do more than just do the stem here that I did. You're a hobby demonstrator. That's like a lot of demonstrators, right, Becky? You just appreciate the discount, which who doesn't, especially in these days? Let's see, what color am I going to do this next one? I'm going to go back and do an orange one, I guess. It's lost its sticky. That's all right. That's okay. I can make it work still, but I do need a piece of scrap basic white. So let's see if I can find a piece of scrap already out. I don't think I can. So we'll just take this little scrap right here. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop it on there. And then I'm going to do this. My block is actually quite oily right now, so that's the problem. If you find that your photopolymer stamps stop sticking, you should wash your blocks and the stamps with some maybe Dawn dish soap. That would work. And the other thing I forgot, because I haven't used this stamp set in a while, is it helps if you stamp it upside down, because I can't get this in the right direction. So what I'll have to do now is just cut this. And then I can fit it in here. And the great thing about this little punch is you're not going to see any white when we're done. You know how some punches leave a little halo of white, which I actually don't mind. This one will not at all. Although we're putting it on white cardstock, so would it matter? Probably not. All right. So there we go. Let's put this aside here. So we've got this one going here. We could put this one overlapping a little bit. And I like that it actually, I must have not cleaned the stamp from before a little bit. It's a little bit more orange than these ones were, so my bad. That's apparently what you get when you get a stamped off purple and an orange combined. All right, I'm gonna put this guy up on dimensionals here. And then the beauty of this little punch out from the punch is you can make it go the other way on this one. So I might do something that looks like that. There we go. Let's just glue down these other pieces. Whoop. Almost forgot which way it's going. All right, so there we go. There's that one. And then this one's going the other way. And I don't think the middle is going to actually touch. Just the part up by the cap. And this part down here. So there we have that. And we'll bring back in our little mini card and attach this. So even though we've done quite a bit of stamping, we've got quite a bit of layering going on here, it really did not take long to come together. Let me bring my other one in. Now my other one here, that's where of course we're going to put some writing, but oops, let's flip it over since I put some ink on it. Let's see what else we have in this. We have a little ladybug. Now this piece right here, that is what's going to maybe put some color onto my ladybug if I stamp it in black. But I could also use that as a mushroom cap for this short little squatty piece. So it plays two different roles. Let's go ahead and my ladybug is going to be, you know, I think that Poppy Parade might be a more accurate color for a ladybug than Real Red, or at least the ones I've seen. I'm going to stamp him right there like that. I've not used this ladybug yet. I hope I can get him to look nicely. All right, and then we need the little ladybug topper. And we'll put that in black. Oh, I didn't do it well. Let's try it again. Maybe it's better if I just do the black first. And I'm going to cover up this little boo-boo. Nobody will ever know that I got ink on it. I could probably put a couple of different things down there. Let's go ahead and put this back. I think what is really hurting me, why will you not open? Okay. Is that I can't get right over the top of my, I'm going to stand up so my voice might sound different as I stand up. Let's see. There we go. That's a little bit better. Little bug anyways. Let's go ahead and put a little, let's put a little squatty mushroom. So we can take the little teeny tiny mushroom and let's put that in our brown, our early espresso. And then I'm gonna go ahead and what color mushroom? I think probably an orange mushroom at this point. So I don't want my pink to really clash with my poppy. So we'll just put this on here, just like that. So you can see the same stamp does double duty right there. All right. So Becky, are you thinking of going to, well, I guess you can't think about it. You're either going or not at this point. Going to On Stage in Raleigh? If so, we'd love to meet up with you. Oh, my fingers are getting so dirty. Oh, well. It is handmade with love. Now all we need to do is adhere this to the inside. So I'm going to put some glue right on the back. I agree, Becky, this stamp set is so much fun to play with. And if people have been paying attention, you'll have noticed that there is a lot of Toadstool stuff floating around out in the stores. Well, maybe another time, Becky. Maybe we can run into you another time at another event. But there we go. There is our cute little card. If we wanted to, we could put in some pretty dots. Let's see here. I do have, I'm probably not gonna use these ones because they're all, I mean, it's a little bit more purpley than it is pink. I mean, I could use some of these to put them in, but I think there's enough going on in this card between the stripes and the patterns and the mushrooms that I think that's good enough. So there is our project for tonight. Don't forget, if you're watching and you have not yet subscribed to my email list, be looking for that link as soon as I hit publish. I will make this public, so I have to go in and separately publish it. And I will make sure I have that link in there so that you can sign up for my email list to get the directions for a flip-flop card. Flip-flop, flip-flop. I don't know. I couldn't read my writing. But it's one of those things anyways. I don't really know what I'd call it. I don't think I'd call it a flip-flop or flip-flop. But that's what it's called. So have a great night, everybody. I hope to get a lot of stamping done this weekend, and I hope you do as well. Don't forget, last day of celebration. You have until midnight. Have a good week.